You with me will change your life. Your wife want the pipe, and when I hit, you feel a slight difference. In her box, my cock's bigger. I'm hot, nigga. She don't rock with you. She got with you for dough. Your hoes a thought. If you fuck around, I'll take your mom, kiss her, fuck her. Then I'm taking your hot sister. Your girl, not a side girl. Your girl, not a side girl. Your girl, not a side girl. You shit that chick up in my world. You cuff that bitch, I'ma fuck that bitch. You in love that chick, will suck that dick. That slut will kick you out your house, man, fuck your couch. I'm Rick James, bitch, I'll take your bitch and fuck her mouth, nigga. You bitchin' cause I'm smashing your hoe, you so passionate though. You would laugh for to go on the trip, now you trippin' because I got her ass, you acting vaginal, bro. I'll give her back, blow her back, out then go. Nigga, act like you know. Sharing is caring, nigga, I dare a nigga to swear that niggas can get to his chick. I put fear in niggas, they scared this nigga will take the girl and make her my bitch. You the type to die for a slut, you lie just to fuck. You like to get drunk and high just to get the courage to say hi, you a punk. You want to get some ass but then you act like a monk. She's stringing you along, it's going on like a month. You spending all this dough, she still ain't touching your junk. She taking off her panties and you smelling the funk. You say you hate it but you ate it even though that it stunk. Nasty ass nigga. Your girl, not a side girl. Your girl, not a side girl. Your girl, not a side girl. You shit that chick up in my world. I'ma keep fucking your lady. My pull-out game's amazing, we ain't having a baby. You bitchin' moaning and crying, complaining, acting crazy because I'm fucking your girl, you punk ass, you pay me. Get cash to smash your whack ass chick. You too stupid to realize I'm teaching your whack ass shit. All up in your feelings, you feeling all attached and it's making you go crazy. And maybe if you had that shit we call game, you know you can't control no hoe. No matter if she's bad or right or just so-so. You trying to control that bitch, that's a no-no. You worried about other niggas, that's so homo. Pause. Niggas wanna be so romantic, but they chick be all up on another man's dick. I be on that man shit, they be acting manic. I don't think these guys know what a man is. Y'all thinking you're out here winning with your money and status, you're thinking you're rich. But how you see yourself as a winner if I can ruin your day by smashing your bitch? Yo, what's poppin', what's good, what's good, what's good, what's good? What's going on, what's going on? Shout out to everybody in the chats. Let me turn off these fucking alarms on my phone and shit. So it's gonna be a real quick live stream. Probably about 45 minutes. I'm gonna have the Skype number up. So if you guys want to call in, make sure you call in on the Skype number. Let me put the Skype number up real quick and have that scrolling a little bit on the joint. So that's it right there. But shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Shout out to my dude, Joe Blast in the building. What's going on, Joe Blast? What's popping with you? Shout out to Art, Keith Joek, Luis, what's going on? 50 Fitzwell in the building. That dude, Dre, Zulu Hunk, Jug Season, Don was popping. Art was good, was good. Oh, today's a birthday. Shout out to you, man. Happy birthday. That's what's up. That's what's up. That's what's up. That's what's up. So today's show, I'm going to be talking about, 3 ways to attract women who will have burning desire for you. Okay? 3 ways to attract women who have burning desire for you. Right? And see, this is important because a lot of dudes actually are in situations where women don't actually have burning desire for them. What is burning desire? That means that the chick really fucks with you. She really likes you. She's really about you. She is so attracted to you. She's sexually attracted to you. She wants you. She's the type of chick that thinks about you all day. She's the type of woman that tells her friends about you. She's like really about you, right? She don't give a fuck about how much money you got. You understand what I'm saying? She don't give a fuck about your status. You understand what I'm saying? She don't give a fuck about, who you know and all this other stuff. She just cares about you. She likes you. She wants you. She's fucking with you, right? It's that simple. Now, the unfortunate part about this is that a lot of guys never experience women who have burning desire for them. Like they never experienced this shit ever. Like they've never experienced women who really, really fuck with them. They never experience women who really want to do them, like have sex with them, like they're actually excited to be with them. There's guys who've never experienced this shit. You understand? Because some dudes are in situations where women are with them for other reasons, right? They're with them because they have money. They're with them because they have status. They're with them because they're using them for attention. They're with them because they have the guys in the friend zone, right? So what happens is you have a lot of these dudes out there who are in these situations, and so they never actually experience what it means to be with a chick with burning desire, right? So I'm going to talk about 3 ways to attract these type of women who will give you this type of stuff, right? And make sure that you guys go to badboymembership.com and masculineidentitymembership.com. You feel what I'm saying? So before we get into all that, make sure you check this month on the Bad Boy membership. You're going to get the program, How to Attract Women Who Will Give You Gifts and Money. In this program, you're going to learn why a woman would even give a guy gifts and money. You're also going to learn the right time to accept gifts and money. Also, when you should not accept gifts and money. And you're also going to learn 4 ways women will give you gifts and money and much more. So make sure you go to badboymembership.com today to check out this program, plus all the other audio and video programs on the Bad Boy membership. Go to badboymembership.com today.
Some people think you need a sports car to get what you want. Some people think you need $1 million. Some people think you need looks, status. The only thing you need is what they can't get unless they come straight to you. And that's your identity. Join the Masculine Identity membership today. MasculineIdentityMembership.com.
Right, we back. We're back. Now, let's get into this. Let's jump into this because I want to make sure that you guys are guys who are dealing with women who have burning desire for you. Because if you don't do this, then you're going to have to end up being a simp or a trick. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sure you don't want to have that, go down in your dating life, right? So what you got to understand is that when a woman actually has burning desire for you, the sex is better. She treats you better. She's cooperative, right? Everything is just way better. You understand? Everything. And so I want you guys to get used to this and become the guys that women have, burning desire for. I don't want you to be the guys women are settling for, the guys women are using, the guys women are, just playing games with and all this other stuff. And this is most guys out there, unfortunately. Unfortunately, most guys out there are the type of guys that are getting played by women. This is why you hear a lot of guys on YouTube talking about, man, these women would play games, they all fucked up and all this other shit, right? So I'm going to get into this to let you guys know exactly what you need to do in order to make these women, have this burning desire. Now, first thing I'm going to talk about for the first one of the 3 ways is you have to be different. Okay? First thing when it comes to a woman having burning desire for you is that you have to be different than all the other dudes, all the other guys out there, right? And being different is very, very fucking simple, people. Being different is very, very, very fucking simple, right? All you need to do to be different is you need to be 100% yourself. This is why you guys need to go to masculineidentitymembership.com, because Masculine Identity Membership, it teaches you to embrace who the fuck you really are. See, what happens is the reason why a lot of women don't have burning desire for most guys is because most guys are average. And what I mean is most guys act like other guys. Most guys don't really have a personality. Most guys are just like, sort of like, well, I don't know what I want to do. I don't know where I'm trying to go. I don't know what it is. And what happens is that most dudes, they're scared to actually be themselves. See, most guys think they're being themselves, but they're not really being themselves. So when you're not really 100% being yourself, right, you blend in with all the other people, all the other losers who are not being themselves. You understand what I'm saying? Shout out to my dude, Coach Judge. He said being different isn't wearing feather boas and doing magic tricks. That's a fact. That's what the pickup artists do, that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? But now that's a fact. But see, what you got to understand is that being different, right, means that you are 100% being yourself because nobody else is like you, right? This is why you have to get to know yourself, understand yourself, and embrace that fully. Because what happens is that when a woman meets you, she's meeting someone she's never met before. But shout out to my dude, Steve Dean. He always says, listen, she's met you before. That's what he means. These women met you before because you are like every other guy. But if you are not like every other guy, that means she's never met you before. You get it? So what happens is that, shout out to Christian in the chat, what's poppin', bro? What you got to understand is that if you fully embrace you, right, you're automatically going to stand out, right? So you're different. And so because you're different, she's going to get a different experience. Because she has a different experience, she gets attached to that experience. So what happens is that she's going to desire that because this is something unique that she can't get anywhere else. You understand? So a lot of times what happens is when you're dealing with a woman and you're interacting with her and you're hooking up with her, you're making shit happen, she starts to invest in you and then she starts to get attached to you. But the thing is, one of the main things that gets her attached is the fact that you are different and she can't get the experience anywhere else. You understand? But see, if you're the type of guy who has weak ass game and you're simping, guess what? You're like every other dude because most of these dudes out here is simping. If you tricking, right, then you're going to be like a lot of guys who are tricking. You see what I'm saying? So you're going to be the same type of dude as all these other guys, right? But if you're fully being yourself and you're being honest with yourself, right, you're being honest with the woman, then what's going to happen is that she's going to have a unique experience with you. And that's going to get her attached. And that's what's going to get her really attracted to you. See, a lot of guys, they think, oh, well, it's just all about looks. It's all about looks. Guess, you know what's interesting about looks? The looks thing, right? Shout out to my dude MLD in the chat. Shout out to my dude MLD in the chat. That's what's up. He said, me, you, and Miles going viral on my YouTube shorts right now. That's what's up. Shout out to Fresh and Fit. That's what's up. You know what's interesting about the whole looks thing? See, when dudes be talking about, oh, it's all about looks, it's all about looks. What they don't understand is that the whole looks thing isn't really something that makes you unique. Because if a girl thinks you look good, guess what? There's a bunch of other guys she thinks that she thinks looks good. So what happens is that now you're just another good-looking guy, which is fine. But that doesn't necessarily make you stand out. Right? Because other guys are good looking, right? If you have money, that doesn't make you stand out. Other guys have money, status. Other guys have status. But you know what other guys don't have? They don't have your unique perspective. They don't have your identity. You see what I'm saying? So because they don't have that, that is the thing that makes you different. But if you are not fully being yourself, if you're scared to be who you are, you will never be able to show her who you really are, and therefore she's not going to get attached to you, and therefore she's not going to see that unique person that you are. You see what I'm saying? But see, this is a thing where you have to actually believe in yourself, though. See, a lot of guys don't believe in themselves. And since a lot of guys don't believe in themselves, right, they never really tap into who they really are. They're trying to blend in with everybody else. They're trying to get validation from everybody else. They're trying to be like everyone else. They're trying to, interact with people so that they can be liked and get validation from everyone. You see what I'm saying? And so they're not truly being themselves because they're scared that if they do be themselves, then there's going to be certain people who don't like who they are. So what they do is they're trying to fit into every little box that people have set for them. You understand? And then that's the thing that's going to make it to where you're not able to really attract the chicks that you want to attract. You understand what I'm saying? You got to be able to say, listen, this is who I am. This is what it is. Take it or fucking leave it. Shout out to my dude K Zaggin 20 in the chat. So guys who are influenced by women are fully themselves. A woman being influenced by you is what you want. Exactly. That's a fact. A lot of these guys, they're so influenced by the chick. They aren't being themselves. They're worried about what other guys are thinking about their woman. They're not fully being themselves. They're worried about what's going to happen next or happen later. They're not fully being themselves. They're scared of rejection. You're not fully being yourself. See, the thing you got to understand is that in order for a woman to have burning desire for you, right? You have to have burning desire to really be who the fuck you are. You have to have a burning desire to fully be yourself. You have to have a burning desire to fully live life how you want to live it. You understand? Because that means that you're being fearless. You understand? Meaning that you're dropping the fear that's stopping you from being yourself. So when you're dropping the fear that's stopping you from being yourself, then your real self can emerge. And then that woman can experience that real self, which causes her to have that burning desire for you. You understand? But whenever you're holding back on who you really are, she never gets to meet who you really are. So therefore, you're not going to be able to get that burning desire because you're just a cookie cutter version of what society has told you you're supposed to be. You see what I'm saying? And so because you're being this fucking clone, because you're being like everybody else, then what makes you so special? What makes you stand out? Nothing. What makes her want to be with you? What's the point? There's all these other guys in her DM. There's all these other guys trying to holler at her. So why should she fuck with you? You understand? Think about that. Why should this woman fuck with you when she got all these other guys in her DM, all these other guys trying to holler at her? There's other guys who are better looking than you. There's other guys who are taller than you. There's other guys who have more money than you. Why should she fuck with you? Right? And see, what beats out all of that is the man you are. That beats all of that shit out. You understand? Because nobody can be a better you than you, right? Nobody can be a more attractive you than you. But see, if you're scared to be who you are, then you're not going to be able to attract those type of women who are going to have burning desire. So what's going to happen is because you're scared to be you, what you're doing is that you're putting other things in the forefront of you. You're like, well, I got money. Well, I got status. Well, I look good. Well, I got this. And you're doing all these other extra things, trying to put that out there in order for the woman to be attracted to you. But what happens is she's attracted to the surface level. She's not really attracted to the man, the actual man. You feel what I'm saying? She's attracted to the surface shit. And because she's attracted to the surface shit, that means that she can be easily swayed to, have her fucking attention to directed somewhere else. Because, okay, so you're leading with your wallet, right? So that's cool for right now. But then when someone else has more money than you, she's gone. You understand what I'm saying? This is why all of the fucking red pill guys a lot of times talk about hypergamy and monkey branching and all this other stuff, because that is something that's real for guys who are not being themselves and who are not that attractive to the women. You understand? See, all of that is an issue when you are a cookie cutter type of motherfucker. So if you're the average dude and you're like the same like everybody else, of course you got to worry about a chick, monkey branch and leaving you. Your chick's always not really being about you and all that other shit, because You're not being about you, so she's not going to be about you. You're just surface level, right? You're on the assembly line. You're just like every other motherfucker. And so if you're like that, what's going to happen is that these women aren't really going to be fucking with you like that. And the only way they're going to fuck with you is if you're displaying traits of simping and tricking. You understand? And then they're going to treat you like the simps and the tricks. You see what I mean? That's how it works. So this is why it's very, very, very fucking important for you to embrace who the fuck you are. This is why I'm telling you guys, get your ass on the Masculine Identity membership right the fuck now. MasculineIdentityMembership.com. Make sure you guys do that. You understand? So that's the first thing. Got to be different. And being different is being yourself fully, right? Now, the second thing that you got to do, the way to attract women who will have burning desire for you, right? Second thing is you have to be good in bed. All right? You have to be good in bed. You have to be good in bed. Now, in the Bad Boy membership, I have a program called The Sex Game, 10 Ways to Be Amazing in Bed. It's called The Sex Game, 10 Ways to Be Amazing in Bed. You can go to badboymembership.com right now to check out that program, right? But you have to be good in bed. You understand what I'm saying? Now, I'll say this. You don't necessarily have to be like the best ever, like, oh my God, she's fucking climbing on the walls type shit. You understand what I'm saying? But you got to be good. You can't be terrible. Now, I'll say this about sex. One of the things you guys have to understand about sex, right? And I was on Clubhouse and I was talking about this, last night when I was on Clubhouse chilling or whatever, is that there's a thing called sexual compatibility. Right? So you have to understand that certain women you're not going to be sexually compatible with. Right? So what that means is you might meet a girl that you're attracted to physically. You think she's hot. Right? You might even like her personality. You might be like, yo, this chick is cool. She bad, all this other stuff. And then y'all have sex and the sex is trash. You don't like it. It don't feel good. Right? And the thing is, or it could be this way too. The sex to you could be good, but to her, it could be trash. That you're not sexually compatible. Right? And so what you have to understand about sexual compatibility is that there are certain things that can be worked on, and there's certain things that are out of your control. There's certain things that can be worked on, and there are certain things that are out of your control. So what does that mean? Let's say you with a chick, and let's say y'all having sex or whatever, and she's giving you head, but she doesn't know how to give head. She keep biting your dick, right? So you can sort of like tell her like, hold on, wait a second. Your teeth is grazing the dick. Like, just do it a little softer. Just try not to bite it, whatever. So you're trying to coach her on how to suck your dick, right? So you coach her, you tell her, and then she does it better, right? That's one thing. That's the technique. So you can work on the technique in a sexual situation, right? But when it comes to the feeling, the touch and the feeling of how the actual sex feels, right? That is out of your control. So what do I mean? So you're helping her with the technique of her giving you head, right? Now, let's say the girl, is giving you head. She's not scratching it and she's giving the head fine. But when she's giving you head, it feels just okay. Like it's all right. It's not like that awesome. Like you're seeing her on your dick. You're seeing her give you head. You're looking at her give you head. You feel that there's a mouth on your dick, but it doesn't really, there's no oomph to it. You're like, this is kind of, it's not, I'm not really feeling it. Now, what you have to understand is that you and her may not necessarily be sexually compatible. And what I'm saying is that she's doing what she should be doing, right? But you just don't feel it. You understand? That means y'all are not sexually compatible. So this can even be in a situation where you're on a date with a chick and y'all are just kissing and you kiss her and you don't really feel anything. And when I mean feel anything, like you feel your lips on her lips, right? You feel the tongue in her mouth and all that other stuff. But it doesn't excite you. It doesn't really do anything for you. Like I remember I was on a date with this chick once, right? And we were kissing and I swear it felt like I was kissing my hand. Like there was exactly Spirit Rich, there's no spark. It felt like I was kissing my hand and I kept kissing her hoping that I'm going to feel something. And I didn't feel shit. I was like, yo, this is whack though. Like I didn't feel anything. It was whack. You understand? That means we're not sexually compatible. So there are some women you're going to not be sexually compatible with, because sexual compatibility is a real thing where it's like there's a natural part of it that has to work or click, or it's not going to be something that's enjoyable for you. This is why when dudes be so caught up on fucking with baddies, I know that they don't really have experience dealing with the women. Because what you got to understand is that just because a chick is bad, don't mean y'all gonna be sexually compatible. You could be fucking with a chick who's bad as hell, the hottest chick you ever seen. Guess what? The sex might be terrible. You understand? Might be terrible. So what that means is you and her not sexually compatible. See, just like you have to be compatible in a sense for, like, let's say a relationship, a long-term relationship, you're compatible because you guys get along. You have a personality type that meshes well with each other, right? You guys get along, so that means you guys are compatible with your personality. But what happens is that you can be compatible with someone with a chick with a personality, but sexually not be compatible. Or the opposite. You can be sexually compatible with a woman and not compatible personality-wise. You understand? This is where a lot of people could be fuck buddies, because they're sexually compatible, but they're not compatible as far as the personality. And then you have times where you're compatible as far as the personality, but you're not compatible sexually, in the situation, right? So you have to understand that sometimes, because there's no sexual compatibility, right? That's not going to be a situation where there's going to be burning desire because you're not sexually compatible. Because if, let's say, for example, because this will happen sometimes, she might like the sex, but you may not like it. But that means y'all aren't sexually compatible. So because you don't like it, you're not going to give her the same type of energy that you would a woman that you like. So then it's not going to work out anyway. So even though she's feeling you, it's not going to work out anyway because you're not feeling her like that. And then the flip side is if you like the sex, but she don't like it, right? You're not sexually compatible. So then what happens is she's not going to have that burning desire for you because she don't like the sex. You understand? So you got to understand that. Now, there are times where you and this woman, could be sexually compatible, but your technique sucks. So then the sex is whack. So this is why I say you have to be good in bed. Because let's say you guys like the feel of it, but your technique is off. Let's say, for example, you can't really get it up like that. You understand? Like you're so anxious, you can't get it up. So you're up 1 minute, then the next minute you're not, and you're up 1 minute, next minute you're not. Now that happens from time to time here and there for a lot of different guys. But what I'm saying is that, shit like that can cause the sex to not be really good, right? Or you're trying to eat pussy, but you don't know how to eat pussy. You understand? You're doing it too hard. You're doing it, you know what I'm saying? You're not reading the woman. You're not really filling out the situation, right? Let's say you are in a situation where, let's say you're kissing or whatever, but you're a terrible kisser. You know what I mean? It's just all these different things that
can go wrong in this situation, right? But what it is that if you're sexually compatible with the woman and the sex is good and it's good on that consistent basis, she's going to have burning desire for you. You understand? Because she already desires you because she's feeling you, period, as that guy, that unique guy she's feeling, right? But then on top of that, if y'all are having good sex consistently, oh, she's definitely going to have burning desire for you. So you got to understand something. If you're simping or tricking, right, you might still get sex from a woman. But what happens is that if you're tricking, she'll keep fucking you because you're tricking. So she'll take the money. You know what I'm saying? Because she's on that whole shit. Now, if you're simping, some women will have sex with you and keep doing it because the level of simping that you're doing, you know, you're whining and dining her, buying her gifts, doing all this other extra stuff, right? She may be benefiting from that. So a lot of times what will happen is you can have a woman stick around for a while because you're tricking and simping, but the sex might not be that good. But because you're tricking and simping, she's getting a benefit outside of the sex act. You understand? You said women with low body counts are not sexually compatible. That's funny. Now, I mean, listen, some women who have low body counts have low sex drives. Some of them, not all of them, because you can have a woman who has a low body count, but she's just been with, in a relationship for a long time and all this other shit. So, but she has a high sex drive, so she has sex with her man all the time. But yeah, you have some women who, you know, have low body counts and have low sex drives. You see what I'm saying? Which is why they have the low body count. You feel what I'm saying? But yeah, you guys definitely go to badboymembership.com and check out the program, The Sex Game, 10 Ways to Be Amazing in Bed, because I break down certain things that you can actually do to get shit popping. You feel what I'm saying? So make sure you check that out. Now, third thing I want to say, as far as the third way to attract women who will have burning desire for you, and this is very important. I've talked about this a bunch of times, but I want to break it down. The way to attract women who will have burning desire for your ass is that you have to be consistent. You have to be consistent. Consistency is the key. Listen, consistency is sexy to women. Let me break this down. Consistency is so fucking sexy to women. Y'all don't even know. Y'all don't even listen. When you're a guy who's consistent, right? That means that, because check this out. Most dudes are inconsistent. Most guys are inconsistent. So when you're consistent, you're already standing out above most dudes just automatically from your consistency. And what I mean is that you have to be consistent in all of these areas, meaning like, you know, you say you're going to do something, you do it. You keep doing that thing. You don't go back on certain things. You're a man of your word. You're that type of guy. You understand what I'm saying? You're that type of guy. So you said, how do we be consistent without giving a bitch too much of your time? Well, that's the thing. You don't have to give a woman too much of your time. So like, for example, you know, when we talk about like how you're hooking up with a chick, when you first get with a girl, you're hooking up with her. So you might see her once a week and smash, right? That is consistency. Once a week, smash, you go to her crib or she come to your crib, y'all fuck, you know what I'm saying? Y'all see each other for maybe 2 hours or so, and then you keep it moving. But then you see her next week and y'all get together, you smash, then you see her the next week, get together and smash. So you're not giving her too much time. You're only giving her like 2 hours or so, but you're still consistent, right? And you always do what you say. That's consistent. You understand? Exactly. Renee said, consistency builds trust and trust is huge. That's a fact. That's a fact. Exactly. Joe Black says some of us got to work on not being consistently inconsistent. That's a fact. A lot of these dudes that's what a lot of guys are. They're consistently inconsistent. And so what happens is a woman can't have burning desire for you if you're inconsistent. See, a lot of guys think this. Let me explain what a lot of guys think. They think that being all over the place, right, is going to have a woman chase them and keep her guessing and do all that other goofy shit, right? Now, what you have to understand is that in some situations that will actually occur. Like if you're inconsistent and you're all over the place, right? And you're like playing these games, or you're just inconsistent how you are, and that's just sort of like how things are flowing. Some women will chase that, and some women will become obsessed with you because of your inconsistency. But guess what? That's not a good thing. The reason why they're chasing you, the reason why they have that desire to deal with you when you're being inconsistent, is usually because they have mental issues. Meaning that these are the type of women, the reason why they're chasing you, or the reason why they're trying to get at you with you being inconsistent, is because they're trying to chase your validation, because they, for themselves, inside themselves, they have a deep-seated insecurity. You understand? They have a deep-seated insecurity. And so that deep-seated insecurity is the thing that has them chasing your validation through you being inconsistent. That inconsistency makes her want to continue to fuck with you because she wants you to be more consistent with her so that she can feel good about herself. But what happens is that the reason why she's doing that is because she has mental issues. She has insecurity issues. She got a lot of shit going on. You understand what I'm saying? So that's not really a healthy thing. So a lot of times guys will try to do goofy shit and play these games, or they'll just be inconsistent just the way they are. And then they'll have chicks like hitting them up, chasing them, and they think they're doing big shit. And it's like, no, what you got on your hands is a woman who has issues. You understand what I'm saying? See, a woman who actually is a woman about something, right? They crave the consistency. You understand? They crave the reliability. Now, the thing is this, you don't want to be in a situation where, you know, and I'll say this, right? Because this is something that you know, is important, but I don't want you to get it confused. See, you want to be predictable, but not predictable to the point that you're boring and that she gets, or she takes you for granted. So you want to be predictable, but not predictable to the point where she's bored, she takes you for granted, because she's sort of used to the situation. So what I mean is that you want to be predictable in the sense that the predictability creates a sense of security, meaning that she knows that when you say that you're going to do this thing, you do it, and you always do it that way, and this is how it goes. So she can rely on that and count on that. So she feels a sense of security within that, which creates that desire to want to continue to fuck with you. But what you don't want to do is you don't want to be too predictable in the sense of where you're doing the same exact thing the same way over and over again. You understand what I'm saying? To where it gets boring, and then she kind of starts to get comfortable in the situation. So it's a very fine line. So you want to be able to be consistent, right? And have some sort of predictability, but you don't want to have predictability in the sense where it gets boring and kind of corny. You see what I'm saying? So I want you guys to understand that. So it says examples of being inconsistent. So an example of being inconsistent, right, is you say for example, guys do this shit where they love bomb. What that means is that they'll be on some good morning, queen. How are you? Grand rising. They texting her every morning, fucking hitting her up, asking her what she had for lunch, texting them, talking about, hey, just thinking about you and can't wait to see you and all this other stuff. So they'll do all that shit, right? And then all of a sudden they get the pussy and they smash a few times, and then all of a sudden that shit goes out the window. They're not doing that shit anymore. They're being inconsistent. See, I don't suggest dudes do that at all in the first place, but this is what dudes will do. So that shows inconsistency. And that's the thing that's going to make it to where, let's say you actually like this girl, you want to keep things going with this girl, because you've been doing that from the jump so strong and going in so heavy, you know, and then you sort of fell back and stopped, and then you probably do it again a little bit more. You're being all over the place. And then the woman is kind of like, okay, this motherfucker, I don't know about him. You understand? He's like, I do not know about him. Exactly, Case. Like I said, predictable, but yet spontaneous. That's a fact. That's a fact. See, another thing of being inconsistent is saying you're going to do something and then you do it, and then sometimes you say you're going to do something and you don't do it. You understand? So let's say you tell a chick, hey, we're going to do these things, like the first 3 times you do it. You say we're going to do this and it happens. And then the next 2 times you say we're going to do this shit and it don't happen. And then the next time you do it and it happens. Then the next few times you say you do it and it ain't going to happen. You're being inconsistent. Right? So you say to a girl, hey, I'm going to call you tomorrow. Then you call her tomorrow. You say, hey, I'm going to call you this weekend. You call her that weekend. And then you say, I'm going to call you Monday. You don't call her Monday. You're inconsistent. You see what I'm saying? You have to do what you say you're going to do all the time. All the time. You see what I'm saying? You have to be that way all the time. So that means when you say you're going to do something, you have to do that thing you said all the time. And if there's a situation that occurs where it can't happen, or something else, you know, comes up or whatever, because, you know, shit happens or whatever it is like that, right? Then you say, hey, listen, you hit the girl up, be like, hey, I know I said we're going to do this thing. This actually happened. So this came up. So what I'm going to do is we're going to switch that to doing it this time or whatever. So you're basically addressing the situation that was supposed to happen that's not going to happen. You understand? So you got to make sure you're consistent. You said these red pill guys on YouTube tell men not to be consistent. What the hell? No, you got to be consistent. That's and you know what the funny part is? That's how you get consistent cooperation from a woman. The fact that you're consistent. See, inconsistency is what causes uncooperative behavior. I'm gonna say it again. Inconsistency causes uncooperative behavior. You understand? Because what happens is that when you're inconsistent, right? The chick says to herself, why should I continue to follow him and be cooperative when I don't know what the fuck is going to happen with this motherfucker? I don't know where he's going, what he's doing. He's all over the place. So since he's all over the place, I'm going to keep one foot in, but I'm going to keep one foot out. You understand what I'm saying? I'm going to keep one foot in and I'm going to keep one foot out. Because I have that one foot out because at any moment, this dude could be on some whatever shit. So I got to bounce. You understand? See, Art said, men represent God on earth. God is completely consistent, so be like God to her. That's a fact. That's how it goes. Real shit. But let me answer some of these questions, and then I got to wrap it up because I got to go as soon as I'm about to do the Bad Boy show. So make sure you guys go to patreon.com/Mr. Lucario to check out the Bad Boy show. You feel what I'm saying? If you guys are not on the Patreon, you're slipping. So let me see what this says. Women love men who can get other women, but what if I don't have any women to begin with? Will she be turned off because of this? No, see, it's not even about you needing to have other women. It's about you being an attractive man, because if you're an attractive man, she understands that, you know, you're that attractive guy and women are going to want to fuck with you. So it's not where you need the women so the woman can see you with women for her to want to fuck with you because she sees you with other women. It's when women see a man with other women or knows he has other women, it's not really about the women. It's about that guy being attractive. And because he's attractive, as a byproduct, he has other women. So, you know, be that attractive dude. You feel what I'm saying? Be that attractive guy. But let me see if I can take this call real quick. Hold on. 732. Can you hear me? Hold on, let me give it like a few seconds as this should be acting mad funny. Okay, 732.
Yeah, what's up? You hear me?
Yes, sir. What's going on, fam? What's good?
Yeah, I donated.
Appreciate it. All right. What's going on?
Yeah, my question is, are you saying there's women out there who are going to be uncooperative if you're consistent or inconsistent? Because I'm kind of confused.
No, if you're inconsistent. So the more inconsistent you are, the less cooperation you're going to get. You understand what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is this. Look, think about it this way. Think about it like a job or a company, right? If let's say you work at Google, right? And Google got their structure set in place. They got their offices set in place. They tell you what your job is to do. You do your job. Every 2 weeks, you get your paycheck, right? So you're like, every 2 weeks, I get my paycheck. I come into work. I do what I got to do. So you're being cooperative with Google because they're consistently paying you every 2 weeks. You understand?
Okay.
Now, let's say you're at a startup company and you work for 2 weeks. And then you get paid your first 2 weeks, and then you work again for 2 weeks, you get paid. And then the next 2 weeks you work, they say, yo, listen, I'm sorry, something happened with the payroll and we just didn't make enough this week. So I can give you half. And you're like, oh fuck, right? So then you're like, all right, cool. But then you come back to work, right? And then 2 weeks go by, they give you your check. And then the next 2 weeks, they say, listen, bro, I'm sorry, we didn't have the money this week. But we'll try to double up next time. So now you're like, should I even go to work today? Why? Like, and you sitting there working like, I'm not even going to do as much as I used to do. So now you're being uncooperative because they're inconsistent. You see what I'm saying? So it's the same thing with women. That's how they view you. If you're inconsistent, they're going to eventually be uncooperative, even if they were cooperative at first. You see what I'm saying?
Right. My thing is, you said something about being consistently inconsistent. That's kind of like where I'm kind of getting confused at.
Right. So consistently being inconsistent just means that you're inconsistent all the time, or that's like your main thing.
Oh, okay.
You see what I mean? So you're consistently being inconsistent, like and that could be on a lot of different levels. So you're like, if you tell a chick, hey, I'm gonna hit you up on Saturday, and Saturday come and you don't hit her up. You feel what I'm saying? So you're inconsistent in that way. Or you can also be inconsistent where, let's say you're supposed to, like, you tell a chick, hey, we're gonna go to so-and-so next week, and then next week come and you don't go to that thing. You see what I'm saying? So it's like everything you're saying you're gonna do, you kind of just don't, you know, most of the time, and then you're just not showing up in the situation how you usually would, or you're just flip-flopping all over the place all the time. You see what I'm saying? Like you could even be inconsistent in the bedroom. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you want some shit where 1 minute you're doing your thing, everything is cool, then the next minute you're just like on some whatever shit. That is being consistently inconsistent, where on so many levels you're just all over the fucking place. You see what I mean?
Right. Like for me, for the most part, like I'll be pretty consistent. Like when it comes to like texting, like I text them like the time and day and place. I don't play around with them. So I was just making sure I'm on the right path.
Oh yeah. That's it. Because all you need to do to be consistent is really all you're doing is that you are being accountable, right, for what out. So basically, you're telling a chick, you're basically showing a woman that you're about what you say you're about. And you're doing that all the time. You see what I'm saying? That's what it is.
Yeah, man. Shout out to you, man. I was watching your stream last night with them dudes trolling you, man. Shout out to you for holding it down, man.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate it, man. That's what's up, bro.
All right, man.
Mahalo,
Yeah, man,
peace,
thank you,
peace. Later.
Peace.
Yeah, man. You know, it was funny last night. It's just what I realized is, and this is something that I need to come to terms with, is that, and I knew this already, but it's just, you know, sometimes I'm stubborn, is that the game is not for everybody. You understand? So either dudes don't understand or they're purposely refusing to try to understand. That's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. You can't fucking help everybody. It says, when you live with a chick, when she moves in, what is important to manage it correct? What changes? Well, excuse me. Well, the thing is this. When you live with the chick and she's moving in or whatever, and let's say she's moving into your house or whatever it is like that, all you need to do, well, first of all, that should be a chick that you've been with for a minute. You understand what I'm saying? Like, that should be a chick that's your girlfriend that you've been with for a few years at least. And then what happens is that because she is that chick who's your girl and she's been cooperative for so long, she's been vetted, she knows how to treat you, then what happens is that when y'all live together, you just sort of create the rules of what it means to be in the situation with you. What does it mean to live with you? What are some things that should go on or shouldn't go on? And that's it. You just create that environment for yourself. It says, when you meet an attention whore at the club or bar, have you ever used your mouthpiece to make her interested in you, or you always leave it alone? Well, this is the thing. That comes with understanding seduction and understanding who you should seduce. So there's some women who they're flirting with you, right? Because they're trying to be cute and fun and all this other shit, and they're enjoying interacting with you and they're attracted to you, right? And so some of those girls who might even have medium interest or something like that, they'll flirt with you and do all that other stuff. And if you understand that this is the type of chick who is, you know, going about it that way, you can flirt, seduce her, and then make shit happen. Then you have women who are just really not really interested in you. They're just interested in your attention. And so there's a difference between women who are attention whores and women who are just being flirty, right? The attention whores, in a lot of these cases, they're only interested in your attention. The women who are being flirty, they're interested in you, right? Most of them will have like that, more of that medium interest, because they're trying to go back and forth with you on some super like quirky type of flirty shit, right? But they have some interest in you sexually, which is why they're flirting back and forth and seeing where it can go. But the attention whores, they don't really have any interest in you. They're just sort of using you up for attention. And the way that one of the main differences you can tell whether a girl's an attention whore and a girl's being flirty and actually interested, the girl who's an attention whore, her energy towards you sexually stays the same. The girl who's being flirty and who's interested in you sexually, it rises. So the girl who's an attention whore, you're flirting with her, you're trying to build sexual tension, but the vibe stays the same. She's not like flirting back really. She's not, trying to like touch you. And when you try to touch her, she's not really trying to make it happen. But the girl who's being flirty and who's trying to go back and forth with you, she's allowing you to touch her. She's laughing with you. She's flirting back with you. Things are progressing. The attention whore, things don't progress. She just keeps taking your attention. You understand what I'm saying? That's all that means. So if you're naturally an introvert, simultaneously be the guy who's talking to and approaching multiple women a day according to your logic of being yourself. What is the thing? All of that stuff about you being an introvert, extrovert, all that other stuff, right? Most of that really is shit that you're putting on yourself. Because as much as you may think you're an introvert, when there's something that you want to do, get accomplished, to make shit happen, you'll be more extroverted in that particular situation. You understand what I'm saying? So the thing is that when you're really being yourself, and this is the thing people got to understand. Most people, they think they're being themselves, but they're not really being themselves. And what I mean by that is that most people are being the version of themselves that they were taught to be. You understand? They're not being themselves. They're being their dad, or they're being their mom, or they're being their best friend, or they're being the YouTuber that they watch every day. They're not being themselves. So this is why you got to get on the masculine identity membership so you can understand your goddamn identity. Understand who the fuck you are. Because most of y'all are not being yourselves. You're being who they taught you to be. You see what I'm saying? But if you were actually being yourself, your real self would emerge. That real energy that's deep within inside you will fucking emerge. You see what I'm saying? So that's what it is. It says, is being fearless the absence of fear or the will to do what you want regardless of the fear? Well, I think it could be both in certain situations. So what it is that, there's times where you're fearless, right? Because you don't have that fear there. There's no fear in that moment, right? And then you have the times where the fear is there, but you still just go do this shit anyway. So in a sense, you're still being fearless because even though it's there, you're like, fuck it, I'm gonna go do what I gotta do anyway, and then get it popping. So the action still, is the same. It still goes through. It says, do you have any other programs on a Bad Boy membership about sex game? Well, that one is the main one. The sex game is the main one. And then I have other ones that talk about, more of like flirting and building sexual tension and all that other stuff. You see what I'm saying? Says, can you have great sex with a female even if you're protected? Of course. You should be protected, man. Don't be fucking all these random chicks raw. Okay, we already answered that one. So do you think a relationship can last long-term if both people are sexually incompatible, assuming the guy is consistent and on point outside the bedroom? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. What's going to happen is if they're not sexually compatible, right? See, a relationship is going to work if they're sexually compatible and they're compatible as far as personality-wise. What most people will do is they'll be in situations for a while and they'll settle for a certain person. They'll deal with a certain thing. But then what'll happen is they'll be in a relationship, but they're not really happy. And then what's going to happen is that at some point that shit's going to blow up in each other's face because they're not really down like that. So if there's no sexual compatibility, one or both parties is going to cheat at some point. They're going to be looking outside the relationship for other shit if they're in a monogamous relationship. It says, what are some good ways to punish a main woman who disrespects you? Less attention after calling it out. What else? Well, the thing is, I don't look at it as like punishing. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is this, is that if you have a chick, you got a main chick, she does something disrespectful, right? What it is that you got to check her, but what you want to end up doing is that you want to get to the point where the woman checks herself. So what happens is, this is why vetting a chick is important. This is why a woman understanding the type of guy you are is important, because before a woman becomes your main, she should have been vetted and trained into how she needs to be in your situation. Exactly, Choose. I said, how is she your main when she's disrespecting you? Exactly. See, there's certain things where a woman might get emotional and then she might say something, right? A little slick thing here and there, or once every blue moon because of her emotion, or say something where you're like, what the fuck, right? But in general, 99.99% of the time, she should be just cool, chill, calm, collected, cooperative, all that other stuff, right? But then when that one part comes out where she slips up, you got to check it. And then what happens is usually the chick will be like, oh, I'm so sorry, I apologize, and all that other stuff. And sometimes if you're really on point, she will check herself. You understand what I'm saying? She will check herself. That's what it is. But guys, listen, I gotta wrap it up because I gotta head out because I gotta do the Bad Boy show. So guys, make sure that you guys go to badboymembership.com to join the Bad Boy membership, where you get 45 to 90-minute audio and video dating advice tutorials every month. Also go to masculineidentitymembership.com to join the Masculine Identity Membership. Also, make sure you guys go to patreon.com/Mr. Locario. 50 Visual said, what model Roadcaster are you using? I'm using the first one, I think. I don't have the Roadcaster 2, I have the first one. That's the one I got. So yeah, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on with the Block Talk phones and shit. So I gotta figure out what the hell's going on with that shit. But yeah, make sure you guys go to patreon.com/Mr. Lucario to check out the Bad Boy Show. You feel what I'm saying? And yeah, that's it, man. But listen, man, I appreciate everybody tuning in. I appreciate everybody in the chat. You feel what I'm saying? And I will holla at y'all later. Remember, the truth is inside you. Peace. I'm going. I'm out. When it comes to being a man, it's about being that rock. It's about being stable.
So first, you're going to have to find discipline within yourself. Do you have that type of discipline? Do you even have the heart to be ruthless?
Women need leadership. It is in their nature to seek out leadership.
You know, you can't do it 99 because all that's part of a man. You got to do it 100.
Apparently, these women out here having sex with somebody. Apparently, they're getting pregnant with somebody. Shoot, somebody getting some.
You should look at something like hypergamy and allow it to inspire you to always be evolving, getting better, expanding, developing.
There are things you know, the things you don't know. Then there are things you don't know you don't even know.
There can be 10 of us in one room, and there's one question, and there's 10 correct answers, all different.